Games. Welcome to the 11th episode of the Masters of Games on YouTube. Welcome to the 11th episode of Masters of Games of YouTube. If you're just joining us, if you are just coming, if you are coming, if you are just joining us, okay, joining us, share the link, say hi, and subscribe. All right, so that's done. Okay, so if you are just joining us, share the link, say hi, and subscribe. Yeah, good morning and once again. So welcome to the 11th episode of the Masters of Games on YouTube. Um, I want to thank you all for it's been an amazing journey so far. My name is Charles Molame, and I want to make a special shout out to past persons that have come along the platform. I want to make a special shout out to Bright, special shout out to Outride, special shout out to Atinuke, a special shout out to Tochuku, a special shout out to Olabisi, a special shout out to Moses, and a special shout out to Rayon. Ryan, yeah. So far so good. You have been very, very supportive of the Masters of Games on YouTube. So basically, Masters of Games basically focuses on making content, yes, to educate, entertain, and inform my audience on YouTube. So basically, I focus on basically making as much as possible to get my audience. We have, so there are various segments there. We have that of the riddles, we have that of the jokes, we have riddles, we have Naso Ibi, and we have the Who Said This. So basically, it's fun filled, you know, and it's something that I know that you will like and you will enjoy. Yeah. So welcome once again. So this is the 11th episode of this is the 7th episode of 11th episode of Masters of Games. So this is me guys. Um, welcome to morning. Welcome to the Masters of Games. Please, if you're just joining us, you could say hi. If you're just joining us, share the link, say hi, and subscribe. So basically, Masters of Games is just it's an online platform where you say hi. So please just thumbs up if you are getting to see the just say hi, thumbs up, then share the link, then subscribe. Yeah, yes. So it's nice to meet you all. Basically, Masters of Games focuses on making sure that people, from different ethnicities, different countries come together to a place to have fun. Yes. So we're going to be starting with today's. If you can hear what I'm saying, just give a thumbs up, a like. Hello, hi. If you can give, if I hear what I'm saying, just give a thumbs up, a like, so that I know that you're with us. That's Rajatu. Yeah. Okay, just give us a thumbs up in the comment section. Then also share, then subscribe soon. Yeah, if you are just joining us, share the link, say hi, and subscribe. Yes. So that's just the small rules that go with the Massive Game platform. Now, for every game, there are a set of rules that are attached to it. Yeah. Um. Now, let's look at the first one we need to do. The first games that we're going to focus on today is riddles. So I'm going to ask you a set of questions, and then you're going to be giving me the answers based on your understanding of, you know, what is said so far. Okay. Now, that of the riddles, now I'm going to call out the riddle. If you know the answer, please feel free to, respond to that. If you do not understand the answer, also make as possible to try your best. Games for us to enjoy. Yeah. Okay, now we're looking at one. We're looking at what has ears but cannot hear. Who has the answer to that riddle? Oh, thanks. So the question is, what has ears but cannot hear? So I'm going to be counting 1 to 5. If nobody knows the answer, then I will now say it. Yeah. What has ears but cannot hear? Please also, if you're just joining us, please share, like, share the link. Yeah. Say hi and subscribe. Yeah. Thank you so much. Um, what has ears but cannot hear? So I'm going to count 1 to 5. If you do not know the answer, then I'll call the answer for us. One, two, three, 4, and 5. Now, what has ears but cannot hear? So the answer to that particular riddle is corn. Have you heard of ears of corn before? When they say ears of corn, yeah, corn has ears but cannot. So what you call corn, you call them ears of corn, yeah, but it does not have it has ears but it cannot hear. Okay, I'm moving to the next riddle. Um, what building has the most stores? Okay, what building has the most stories? Does anybody want to try? What building has the most stories? If you're just joining us, please comment. If you're just joining us, say share the link, say hi and subscribe. If you're just joining us, share the link, say hi and subscribe. Okay, now what building has the most stories? Who has an idea to that? What building has the most stories? I'm going to count 1 to 5. Nobody knows the answer, then we'll move to the next question. What building has the most stories? One, two, three, 4, and 5. So the answer to that particular riddle is a library. A library has the most, it's a building that has the most stories. So that's the answer to that. All right. Okay, Messi or Ronaldo? Well, this is Zidane. Nice to meet you. If you're just joining us, share the link, say hi, and subscribe. Yeah, welcome to the program. Okay, so the question now, let me repeat it again for the sake of those that are just joining. What building has the most stories? Is it A, B, or C? What building has the most stories? So this is a riddle actually. Does anybody have an answer? Does Zidane? Do you have it? Answer me. Okay. Um, Messi or Ronaldo. So I'm focusing on the games. The games has a structure. Do you understand? Zidane. Good morning. So I'm asking. So basically, let me just give us a background rules of the Masters of Games. Basically, we focus on entertaining, educating, and informing my audience. Yeah, I have games to play, such as the riddles. We have Naso EB, and we also have what do you call it now? Who said this? So basically, you're on this platform to just have fun. Yeah, have fun, enjoy the games, and you just follow up on previous episodes. So basically, if you look at the comment section, it's written there. If you are just joining us, share the link and say hi and subscribe. Yeah, so more interesting content. Okay. Um. So the next question is what building has the most stories? It's Do you have an answer to that? What building has the most stories? So I'm going to count 1 to 5, then I move to the next question. One, two, three, 4, and 5. The answer to that question is a library. A library has the most stories. Yeah. Okay. So moving to the third question, we have what can fill a room but takes up no space? What can fill a room but takes up no space? Who has an answer to that question? What can fill a room but takes up no space? What can fill a room but takes up no space? I'm going to count 1 to 5, then I'll call the answer. One, two, three, 4, and 5. The answer to that riddle is that what can fill a room but takes up no space? Does anybody want to have it? Then do you want to try? Then Raju too. Do you want to try too? Okay, nobody. Okay. So the answer to that particular riddle is light. Light can fill up a room but can take no space. All right. So the next question is going to be what gets bigger the more you take away. What gets bigger the more you take away? If you're just joining us, share the link, say hi, and subscribe. Yeah. So What gets bigger the more you take away? So we're in the riddle section of the games now. What gets bigger the more you take away? What gets bigger the more you take away? So you have 5 seconds to answer this question. What gets bigger the more you take away? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What gets bigger the more you take away? What gets bigger the more you take away? So the answer to that particular riddle is, does anybody want to try? If you're following what we are saying, make a comment with your favorite emoji. If you're hearing what I'm saying, please make a reaction with your favorite emoji. Okay. What gets bigger the more you take away? That's the question. Does anybody have an answer? What gets bigger the more you take away? All right. Okay. So the question again is, what gets bigger the more you take away? So the answer is a hole. That's for that particular video. If you're just joining us, just share the link, say hi, and subscribe. Now, the last one for this particular session is, what goes through cities and fields but never moves? What goes through cities and fields but never moves? What goes through cities and fields but never moves? What goes through cities and fields but never moves? What is the answer to that particular riddle? What goes through cities and fields but never moves? So the answer to that particular riddle is a road. A road moves through cities and fields but never moves. It's stagnant. You understand? Okay, moving to the next game. Now, so it be. So in this particular session, I'm going to be asking you questions. I'm going to be answering me based on how you feel about this certain set of questions. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. All right. So this is the question that we have. What talk? Okay, who talks too much in your friend group? Who talks too much in your friend group? So it's an open-ended question where you can feel free to express yourself. Yeah. Who talks too much in your friend group? So if you're not joining us, just say hi. Share the link, say hi, and subscribe. Yeah. What who talks too much in your friend group? Yeah, that's a simple question for you to answer. It's called Naso Ibi. It's a game. So the rules of this particular game is that you just say your mind, how you feel about a particular question, and give us your feedback. That's just the simple rules that guide this particular game. So the first one is, who talks too much in your friend group? If you have the answer, please just feel free to say. If you're joining us and you're hearing what I'm saying, just make a reaction with your favorite emoji so that I know that you're with us. Okay. All right. There's no question answer for that. Okay. So we move to the next question. Okay. What's your dream car? That's the next question. What's your dream car? That's the next question. What's your dream car? That's the next question. Do you have an answer to that? Okay. No one? Okay. So the next question. If you could live in any country for 1 year, where would it be? If you could live in any country for 1 year, where would it be? If you could live in any country for 1 year, where would it be? That's the next question. Does anyone have an answer to that? If you could live in any country for 1 year, where would it be? Does anyone have that answer? If you could live in any country for 1 year, where would it be? For me, if I would live in any country for 1 year, I would love to go to Massachusetts, yeah, in America. Yeah, Massachusetts is where I would like to go to. Yeah. Now, and Orlando, Florida. I think those two, Orlando, Florida, and Massachusetts. Yeah. So if you could live in any country country, America. Okay. If you could live in any country for 1 year, where would it be? Those two places locations are in America. Then the next one is what's the funniest nickname you've ever had? What's the funniest nickname you've ever had? If you're just joining us, welcome to Masters of Games on YouTube. We hold our games in mornings like this from about depending on your GMT, your Greenwich Meridian time. We host the games early in the mornings like this, and most times in the afternoons than in the evening. But most of the times we host the games early in the mornings like this before people get up for work, so they can be in the best frame of mind to play the games. To spice up their minds with good vibes before they go to the office. So the question is this: what's the funniest nickname you've ever had? What's the funniest nickname you've ever had? Just drop your answer in the comment section. What's the funniest nickname you've ever had? That is the question. You could drop your answers in the comment section. And if you're just joining us, please share the link, say hi, and subscribe. Just simple rules. If you're just joining us, share the link, say hi, and subscribe. That's just what you just need to do. Okay, so what's the funniest nickname you've ever had? Does anybody have a funniest nickname? Yeah. For me, the funniest nickname I've ever had is Omolefa. Yeah, that was the funniest nickname I've ever had. Omolefa. Very funny nickname, yeah. So, okay. So I'll move to the next question now. Which is better, money or true love? I like this question. Which is better, money or true love? Who has an answer to this question? Which is better, money or true love? Who has an answer to this riddle? I sorry, to this question. Which is better, money or true love? Which is better, money or true love? Does anybody have an answer to this question? Which is better, money or true love? Does anyone have an answer to this? Which is better, money or true love? Okay. Does anybody have an answer? If you're just joining us, just say hi, share the link, and subscribe. Yeah. Okay. Does anyone have the answer to this question? Which is better, money or true love? Okay. Nobody has an answer to this. So we're coming to an end of the 11th episode of Masters of Games streaming on YouTube. I want to thank you all for joining. It's been a very interesting time with you. It's basically Masters of Games focuses on making sure that people are entertained, educated, and informed. We rounded up today with question of which is better, money or true love. For those persons that are still connected, you feel free to answer the question: which is better, money or true love? You can type your answer in the comment section, yeah, so that we get to know, you know, so we get to know, so we get to know your answers, yeah. We get to know your answers, yeah. Which is better, money or true love? Yeah. Which is better, money or true love? Yeah. Okay. Um. So, we have come to an end of this particular segment. I want to thank you all. Special shout out to Raju too. Special shout out to Zidane for joining today's games live streaming on YouTube. Please feel free to look at our previous episodes. We're in episode 11 now. Feel free to reach out to those other episodes and have a feel of our Masters of Games is on YouTube. I want to thank you all for joining and stay blessed. And like I say in most of my videos, if you like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Till we meet next time. Cheers.